Memes isn't actually here right now. He's in the hyperbolic. He's in another castle.
So help me if he blew up the hyperbolic time chamber again.
I think he's pooping.
Although this is going to be weird.
The title of the conference was something like Ground Truth or Turtles All the Way Down. And so it seems as though there's one Ruliad. I don't think it rules them all.
Yes, it's on the back of an infinite number of hyperrural turtles.
Would somebody say cheesecake?
This brings up a very interesting question. Is cheesecake pie?
Fishies!
I love the fishes because they're so delicious. Gotta go fishing.
Fishies.
I could eat them every day, and my mom says that's okay.
I think I lost memes, guys. Hey, sorry. I don't know where he is. I hope he's okay and brings back snacks.
There's people are commenting on the outrage of hacking the universe on a MacBook Air.
Here's some more stuff you can use, memes. I cut it all up.
I ate too much pie today.
Angry Fyzz.
I think so. I think cheesecake is already pie. And it has crust, and so does cheesecake, which is why cheesecake is actually pie.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Some stuff and things may have been in the works. Now, to recap from last week, what we're going to do is, so essentially, I think Fyzz Bomered, her account may or may not have been hacked. In the Twitterverse, in the Twitter multiverse, that is. Since she is a celestial wolf girl, she does have the ability to, I think, take a new form on the Twitters. I'm only basing this off of some cute chibi art and somebody that said some things on the Twitterverse. I think she should be here. I'm just saying, but welcome everybody now and temporally in the future. Yes, I am late. Again, there's a 45th constant to our realm of persistence. That I will be late. Now, we have Jensen, we have Bone in the standard kitty form. Okay, it's okay. That never confuses anybody. This is why I love the internet. But as well as we have Joe Franco. Shout out to my patrons, Dave M. and Joe Franco. This broadcast is helped made possible by viewers like you. Now, I mean, it seems it's a pretty good model and everything. I like PBS, space-time at least. I should probably click the bell for the other things there. See, the thing that I've noticed about the algorithm is a lot of the time, if you follow a channel and maybe you just like the person and occasionally they'll talk with you, don't actually do the all thing. Because when you do the all thing, because when you start I'm just sharing a particular experience. Let's say you happen to be within insert X community here. Whatever it might be, and all of a sudden people are happy. There's lots of stuff and things going on. You're all generally united around a particular goal, a particular cause, if you would. Now, within the history of the internet, there are many such of those things. But very often, you'll have different groups come up. It's like, oh, so-and-so, it's a great channel. They're a great person and everything. Make sure you do this, you do this. And you're like, yes, we're going to support the cause. We're going to support the cause. You realize, I don't necessarily even really care. So it's like, why would you do it? Now, again, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I just found that after I basically had subscribed to far more channels than I had to me. It was basically, when your feed is just nonstop, just everything, it's like there's no way you can keep up after a certain point. Again, as a human being / scaly on this internet of stuff and things, it's like, what are we actually doing here? And I tend to find that the algorithm shows you what you seek. What do you seek? I don't know. Anyone ever used Pandora before? Like when you do like or dislike, it will show you more of that. And all I know is I could tune Pandora in a very particular way where it's like, oh my God, it's playing basically everything that I actually like there, almost in the order I would like it. Well played. I'm just saying, at least according to LDG, at one point, it's like, if you happen to have this, it's like, oh, we could, I don't know, what will we be able to seek out and everything. Basically, if you look at the things to make you angry, there's plenty of stuff of that on the internet. It gets plenty of clicks and everything. I think even Tim Pool said this. Like, in causal pass, these are these things with like a lot of folks that happen to get a following. I'll listen to it and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense to me. And especially if you go back, and then it seems like they almost forget about it sometimes. Is that something about not being able to differentiate the forest from the trees or something like that? Oh, I should probably actually invite new Fyzz. This is why we can't have nice things. I'm just saying. But what do we got? So I don't need to discombobulate my mind. Let's go to something fun. I said this would be a fun stream. Or at least I told Piper to tell Fyzz that. Is that how this works? It wasn't like that scene in Harry Potter where Ron and Hermione aren't talking to each other, and they're both talking to Harry, and Hermione's like, Harry, will you tell Ron that I am not blah, 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 and then Harry goes up, it's like, Harry, will you tell Hermione? It's like, are you really doing that? Is this really what it is? We're reverting to like, just wizard school antics and everything like that. It's like, oh no, whatever it is. All I know is it seems like the internet and IRL are merging. And that's why we're going to do a webcomic about it. Why? Because we can. And the biggest thing that I took away, and again, yes, ADD, mind jumping around from one particular Mr. Medicare, it's like, well, you got to have some fun and everything like that. If you just look at the absolute absurdity of what's going on, it's like, do you need to make all these horrible accusations? I mean, you can. What if you're wrong? Are you just trying to convince people that that's what's going on, or is that what's actually going on? See, back in the day, I always thought that it's like, was it the ultimate defense is the truth shall set you free? Free from what? It's just like, just people believing something else. If it's not true, it's not true. But as far as different things going on, let's figure out whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not. Because this, I don't know. I actually had fun with this, and Fyzz is Fyzz. Here we go. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And I conjecture that no. A hot dog is an open-faced calzone. Ooh, did you get spillage?
Nope.
Okay. Gotta make sure it doesn't go over there.
Yeah, it threatened it. Yeah, I was sucking up the top. Oh, God damn it.
Now, what was that?
I ate too much pie today. I used my mouth to make sure that spillage didn't really happen.
Wait a second, what type of pie?
The calzone theory is no good.
Oh no. Here we go. Why is the calzone wrong?
Oh, guess what? I found this season. I found the mint chocolate Twinkie. Cause the calzone is toasted. Like, to make it a calzone, it has to be cooked with toasted, the bread too, and it's a specific kind of bread dough that makes it the calzone. It's the same reason why a pizza is not just a topless sandwich.
They do exist.
Yeah, I devoured them very fast.
Nope, still bad. Nope.
Whoa.
And I've never seen them again.
No, you're self-aware. You're self-aware of it this time. Good.
So now I'm sad.
Did you share any with Piper. That makes all the difference.
The bread that hot dog buns are made of makes the hot dog more of a sandwich. And the fact that the buns might be warm, but generally they're not toasted and they're not pizza dough. It's sandwich. It's sandwich bread.
And it has crust, and so does cheesecake, which is why cheesecake is actually pie.
We're breaking news,
It's
everyone.
a wiener sandwich.
That's
I
the
do
thing.
remember when I did not understand why people kept saying phrasing at me.
Yeah, sometimes it's... yeah. I resemble that. See, this is why we get along. Because very often I feel like the reaction we get from other human beings in the mortal realm. You might be a celestial wolf girl, and I might be a dude on the internet. But I feel people react the same way. I'm just saying, congratulations. We've scared everyone away. It's a bait and switch. Would the real Fyzz please stand up? It's like, oh, where's the Fyzz? Hey, Papa. I'm Jax. Yes, the user interface to the brain. I don't know. I hear that Mr. Musk is doing this neural network thing. Apparently there were pigs. I have no idea what the heck he did or what is going on there. I could be great. Could be a terrible idea. I'm just... My base assumption is just the realm we're going. And again, just the opinion of a dude on the internet. Isn't it just cheaper to just plug ourselves into the Matrix? I mean, aren't we going to do that voluntarily? Isn't that something we've been doing all along? Isn't that one of the reasons why I was a server first level 80 Death Knight back in the day? With a lot of Diet Pepsi and not a lot of sleep. But, welcome, Anami. But, okay. See, I've always thought about doing those AMAs and stuff. Everyone likes to do an AMA, but I'm like, do I really want to do an AMA? I know the internet. Or at least I've been on it long enough. Do you really want to invite people to ask you anything? And it's like, yeah, I mean, I overshare enough to begin with. Now, just because someone asks it doesn't mean you need to answer it. And then again, YouTube more recently, they censor a lot of stuff, just like by default and everything. It's like some of the things that'll get up there, I don't think it's ever actually done it for me, but I don't know. Did it do it for you, Fyzz?
Who do what now?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, we were talking about, I was just giving my opinion that I think it's going to be just end up being cheaper to plug ourselves into the Matrix because a lot of, I think we're doing that anyway, or at least that was why I played a lot of World of Warcraft. It was about nothing in particular. That was just a random thing. Fyzz, you know me. You've been around long enough. You've survived as being my co-host. It's one of those things where it's like, what is Memes talking about? He could be talking about any number of things. See, you've learned, because now it's like, what's the context? That's like the next step. It's like, you got that quest giver. It's like, okay, they have that golden exclamation point above their head. It's like, what do you got for me? Wait, how many of these silly things do I need to just murk these bugs? And then all of a sudden it's like, they only have a chance of dropping it, and I need how many of these dang things? No, thank you. I'd rather do like a crazy quest. The escort quests are a pain in the butt, though. For some reason, the NPCs seem to have like a death wish. Now, if any of you NPCs out there happen to have that, consult professional coding advisors and everything.
Yeah, and they're always like slower than every other NPC in the damn game.
I every once in a while when they're changing the cinematic up, they can run a little bit sometimes here or there, often into danger and traps and everything else. But so the name of this Breaking the Multiverse is, "Would the real Fyzz please stand up?" Because as you have demonstrated over your time in this breaking of the multiverse realm, you have many forms.
Yes, and some of them do actually have legs, and can stand up.
I did use the one that had legs, but when I pasted it into the RE Big photo, it was a really, really big wolf girl. So I had to downscale. And when I downscaled and then actually took the screen, yeah, there were no legs showed.
Ugh. I worked so hard for those.
But it was your tail kind of tickling your other form around midriff. So, oh god.
Ooh.
It,
Fizz on Fizz action.
well, you heard it here. Oh god. What? Did we just invent a new genre of like lewdness or category? What happens if rather than it's like, okay, now as somebody that's spent far too much time on Pornhub and related sites, you can have Wonder Woman, you can have Supergirl, you can have people cosplaying different things. What happens if it was multiple people cosplaying the same person, except not the same person, it was from a different multiverse, because they have that in the MCU, in the DC, whatever things. It's like, how does that work?
I was thinking of like a more like a lewd isekai manga where it's like I met a bunch of my other dimensional selves and we had an orgy.
I would buy that book.
I make Piper work on it. She gets so mad.
The terrible thing is, I feel like that would do well. Like, I don't... No. Wait. Fuck it, let's do it. No. The reason... I pondered for a while. And it's just like, you go through life, and it's like, all right, you have these opportunities, maybe you can take these opportunities. No, you're supposed to do this. Why? Because that's what everyone told you to do. That's how people do things. And then how does it work out? It's like, okay, yeah. Or what happens... you had a shot. You had perhaps one shot, one opportunity to just make it all happen, to play the best game that you could after all those thousands of epic fails and lulls and cacks and all that jazz. What happens if you could do the best you could? To be the best there ever was. I ruined that. I don't even know the words to the song. I actually did. Oh God, I did a parody version. I did a BreadTube version of the Pokemon song. And it's like,
nice.
Each community to understand, to troll them is my cause. It's like, that's not an untrue statement. It's like, I perhaps maybe the stresses would be reversed and everything, but it's like, okay, and then you be the stick in the mud just like with every other community. It's like, all right, I hang around with like a lot of libertarians and kind of conservative folks. I disagree a whole lot, but it's like, okay, I don't think you're a bad person. You might do stupid shit. I do plenty of stupid shit. But I just try to acknowledge that. And at the same time, it's like, okay, well, these things are happening. Yeah. Oh, yeah. BreadTube. Yes. Sure. Drugs are bad. But you go back over there, it's like, so will the bread community go the same way as the skeptic community and everything like that? It's like, no, and like, I'm hearing a lot of the same stories and bullshit from pretty much everywhere else. This is why I think we're more similar than we are different. We do each have our own unique life experience, but I'm gonna bet on most folks are good people, because that's been my experience. There's a lot of stupid shit. There's a lot of BS. Depends on how you want to take it. I don't necessarily think as much of it is as malicious as people always think. I think those misunderstandings turned into hatred, and then that hatred makes it a lot more malicious and everything like that, especially when there's other characters around. Kind of free radicals like in physics and biology and stuff like that. It's like, here are these agents that we're not really sure what's going on the internet. It's us trolls. That's just what we do. We're the bugs in the programming. And I think you may have caught me. Oh, so I thought about a potential ending for the webcomic. I apologize. This is supposed to be your show. Say something, Fyzz.
Already, wow, YouTube, even though I'm subscribed, YouTube hid your channel, the stream. I had to go and dig it up. Also, I could try to help Papa Cotton I mean, also Piper apparently could help Papa Cotton, but she's not a mod. She can't.
No, I noticed that with like a lot of different. There are some folks where they'll ask me every once in a while, and I'll also be there, and I'll be like, I'll see that somebody commented on something. I'll go to like try to read it, but I can't read it. So then I'll go into the YouTube command center and stuff like that. It's like show all things. I'm like, it's still not there. I'm like, I had a notification that this happened. Why will you not let me respond to this person? And it's not always something bad. Like if somebody's saying a whole bunch of crazy, like off the top profanities, I understand that. But I'm like, whoa, you've been labeled as the bads. Unfortunately, as much as I might love some people have a habit of stirring a lot of stuff. I think I may have just navigated under a lot of radars for a while, just because the things I'll do, it's more like, what is it? You just go around, you notice a particular tension, and it's like, is somebody being a hypocrite here? Because if they're being a hypocrite, then, well, it's just natural that.
I put the fires out. You made them worse. Worse? Or better?
Just saying. Yes.
YouTube auto mods a lot of shit without our permission.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, just give the people control. Like, I stand by. If you want to moderate the internet in the best way, it's like just give people the option. The question will be, which is it default? Is it like, do you default max edginess, or you default 1, which is basically cat videos and the Green Brothers? If you go all the way up to 7, well, you're going to enter the realm of Papa Cotton and beyond. So, I mean, these are just realms that people should be aware of. Yeah, no one group or community has a monopoly on assholes, but assholes, everybody has one. Everyone needs one. My apologies to our rectally challenged friends out there. Not everyone has an asshole. So,
oh, no.
No, we want to be fair and inclusive, Fyzz. This is what we do, right?
Yeah, some have a cloaca.
That is accurate. That is accurate. We went over this, but wait, what have cloaca again?
What?
What creatures have cloacas?
I believe a lot of reptiles and amphibians, and then quite a few other critters.
So what you're saying is, I may have a cloaca.
You might not have an asshole. You might have a cloaca.
I really haven't checked. These are, oh God. We could, even if we didn't turn this into a webcomic, we could just literally just turn this into oh God, this is terrible. Rule 34 strikes again. Well, you all know what this means.
I gotta sing the Doom song now! Doom, 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 doom,
Are you ready for this?
No.
Are you ready for the truth?
Hit me.
All amphibians, reptiles, and birds, and a few mammals have this orifice, the cloaca, where they poo and pee and possibly other stuff, instead of having 2 or 3 separate orifices for everything.
That seems a lot more efficient.
Yeah, that means you you would not have an asshole. You'd have a cloaca. You just do everything out of one hole.
Are you telling me that birds aren't allowed in the Catholic Church? I apologize to my Catholic brethren out there. I was making light of certain things on the internet. I forget who even said it, because of Rule 1 of the internet, don't believe everything on the internet. But it was an interesting discussion. People were saying, like, any non-traditional form of intercourse, basically, like oral sex, cowgirl, anything like that is quote unquote homosexuality. It's like, well, homo me, yeah. I just sit back. I'm like, nobody would ever troll on the internet.
Well, there's some good news. Males males still have penises.
Cool.
Yeah. Some have two. Like snakes.
Well, I mean, do they have a hard time?
I know way too much about.
No. Well, no. This is why I went to the This is why I went to the biology realm. I'm like, Fyzz watches a lot of Netflix, or at least she would be watching whatever Piper would be watching and stuff too. So probably also like things with planes and very crazy unsolved mysteries and stuff.
Dude, her tastes are weirder than mine, and I'm, well, me.
I mean, that doesn't surprise. Piper's a bit, and again, I think if there was a fusion dance that worked between, or if you took two Patara earrings and you put one on Daria and then one on Count Dankula, you basically get Piper. Because then the jewels on each ear just go into the center, and she'll occasionally have like a jewel in the center too. So that's probably why you get along, similar style.
Yeah, probably.
But
she loves animals, not in that way, in a completely platonic way. She loves animals a whole lot, so she knows a lot about them. And I'm trying to learn about the planet, so I too have learned a lot about them.
Yeah. Flesh jackets are a heck of a interesting thing. I stole that from somebody that I heard say it earlier. I used meat soup before. They said flesh jacket. No, where was it from? It was from, Jason. Shout out to Jason Sorosis, the creator of the Theories of Nothing community, which I am also associated with and stuff. That's the thing. It's like a lot of folks, they seem to go real hard. Whatever it is, we're behind this. This is the thing. This is our thing. Hashtag this. Why? Because we can. And it's like maximum that. Okay, sometimes maybe you should ramp that up. Is that the most important thing at all times? Or is that just how people get their outstanding clout, cash, income, livelihood? So that has to be what they talk about. Once your algorithm has been saturated to that extent where it's like, and again, I was just talking about before you popped on, Fyzz, it's like wherever the algorithm will show you what you want. So if you just keep on putting all those different things down, it's like, well, what do you think's going to happen? It's like, okay, I totally forgot what I was talking about.
Oh,
biology and flesh jackets. Oh yeah, no, I stole that from the, he was interviewing a No, it was a doctor that happened to have a degree, master's in mathematics. No, there's a lot of smart people around. I talk to so many. That's the great part about the internet. You never know who you're going to talk to. Could be a complete crazy person like myself, or it might be somebody that's literally the pre-internet version, perhaps by the internet version of like Wikipedia of, here's a particular topic. Fyzz, tell us about bears.
Bears. Did you know that bears technically don't hibernate? Hibernating is real and animals do it. Bears technically don't. We just call it hibernating. Hibernation is actually like going into a state of torpor. Torpor. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Where you're slow down, your body's everything to where you're almost dead.
Isn't that a condition in a game I played before? If you have too much torpor, like you slow down and all of a sudden like your abilities don't activate as fast.
I know that it's the term is used a lot in Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh, that's what I played Vampire. Okay, I didn't play it that much, so. Okay, no. That sounds like one of the attributes you would keep track of, like stamina or something like that. All I know is they told us back in the day, it's like, hey, whatever you do, just don't Diablerize another vampire. You'll get bonus levels very quickly and like lower your generation if they're higher than you. But essentially, if anyone finds out within the vampire realm, they're putting a hit out on you, like a rogue ninja or something. It's like, I think we only did that once. Then again, we only played a couple games.
Torpor is actually a good description, though, of what vampires do when they're sleeping in their coffins, technically. So, in this case, it would be they almost die from something, so they need to go to sleep. And then they go to sleep for like a gazillion years, though, to wake up all good as new, in order to heal up. That's the state that animals that actually hibernate, they go into that state. So not only do they eat themselves silly, to hopefully have enough energy and nutrients, but then their body goes into a state of torpor so that it's not using barely any energy at all to stay alive. Heartbeat slows down hardcore. They're like one step away from dead, but they're not dead. They're like pretending almost. Bears do not do that. Bears legitimately just go to sleep. Which means you can wake up a quote unquote hibernating bear and they're gonna get up pretty quick and kick your ass. But an actual hibernating animal, you'd probably think it was dead if you found it.
Oh. It's kind of like it's like, you shouldn't poke it with a stick. But if you poke it with a stick, it's probably not going to wake up. But if you poke a bear with a stick, you might get mauled.
Yeah, noises like, they go into a deep sleep where they're not very active. They do go into their caves and stuff. They've made nice dens and stuff, all nice and warm. And they do sleep a lot in the winter, but they aren't actually hibernating. They still, they'll still get up. They'll wake up to eat whatever food they've stored in their caves and stuff.
They store food?
Yeah, they will. A lot of animals that are accused of hibernating, but technically don't, are the ones that will store food for the winter. And then they'll just sleep a lot so that they barely eat any.
I mean, that kind of sounds like a lot of humans in the winter, too.
Ooh.
Wait a second. Are we bears?
No. But I bet if humans had their way, they would be kind of like bears. Yep, squirrels is one of them. Squirrels don't actually hibernate. They're like bears. They just fucking sleep a fuck ton. So the animals that store away food. Everybody says they're storing away food for the winter, storing it for hibernation. They technically aren't hibernating. They're legit just sleeping the most of their time away. But they will wake up to eat, and then will wake up if somebody wakes them the fuck up, like bears, and they will fuck you up for waking them up in the winter. Well, they'll fuck you up anytime, but
they are godless killing machines. But God,
yeah,
I love
actual
them.
hibernating critters, they don't even store food, because they do not eat. They go into basically, like I said, suspended animation. Scientifically, they say going into torpor. What about there's questions up in there. Nice.
What do we got? Is it alive? I believe it is, but squirrel.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
You kept talking, so I wasn't able to play it before.
Oh yeah, no problem.
For anyone not watching, it's like, what the heck just happened? Why did memes blow up my eardrums? Deep lore, my friends. Deep lore.
Reptiles. Reptiles, hibernating reptiles do actually for real hibernate.
So what about the freezing frogs?
Amphibians.
Yes.
I can't remember if their lifespan is just so short that they. Let me see.
Here's the thing. So I remember Professor Wolfram a bunch of times. He would bring up, it's like, well, what about cryogenically freezing like a human, so we could like wait until like be able to fix them or something? It's like, yeah, except like we have like a lot of water in us, and when you freeze water, it like expands, and that's tough. Unless it's like a flash freeze, but in order to do that, you need to do it really well, or else it's probably not going to work all that well for you.
Okay.
What we got?
Frogs hibernate.
So they go into a torpor-like state, so they might actually be cold enough with the ambient water that if the water slowly freezes around them,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they basically they go deep enough in the water. If they are that kind of frog, a frog that primarily lives in water, or right by water, they will do a few things. So they will either go deep enough in the water and then go into torpor, hibernate, down far enough where the water doesn't freeze. Water freezes closer to the surface depending on how cold it is how far down it freezes. And I'm guessing frogs just generally wouldn't live anywhere that's completely unlivable for a frog. Some will actually go into abandoned animal dens. Basically, a lot of them will bury themselves in the dirt, especially under and around trees. Frogs in the desert bury themselves. Yep, that too.
Do they orient themselves to the stars? Or a star?
To the stars?
I don't know. No, a lot of animals, like, they'll orient to, like, a magnetic field or something like that. I think that's supposed to be something with dogs. Like, they like
Dogs, the reason that they have to do, like, this weird little poop dance and find the extra perfect place to poop, they say that all dogs seem to be aligning themselves with something, but there's different
the magnetic
theories.
field or oh god, is like the source for dogs, the one dog source. It's Fyzz, how many times do you need to turn around before you take a nap?
Oh man.
You're on the spot.
I like naps actually, so I'm not sure. I think I just pretty much am like
Wait. You surpass your standard canine brethren. You're just kind of like, I am the tired Fyzz.
Well, I'm in a human body too.
That is true, and you do take off after. Oh God, I'm sorry. No, I was making mental connections between Piper and XX Mrs. Memes because that statement, if it applied to XX Mrs. Memes, she actually did happen to have narcolepsy and stuff like that. And it's not exactly like how it's like in Deuce Bigelow. It's like, no, you need to tie your dates like head to like the chair. So like when she goes to like just randomly fall asleep, she's gonna like face plant the soup. It's like, no, that's not really how it works. But again,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not a doctor.
how narcolepsy actually works. But it is life altering. It is.
I actually have talked to another person because she had brought this up on some of her streams. And of course, like we all have a bunch of different things wrong with us, and she had her own particularities. And at one point, she ended up finding out she was diagnosed with narcolepsy because she'd gone through like some of the sleep studies. It's like, yeah, no, like without drugs, it's like I will sleep like up to 18 hours a day. I'm like, oh my god, that sounds like XX Mrs. Memes. Because like it would be like, all right, if you're not on your meds, it's like you start getting a little tired, and all of a sudden you get comfortable, and it's just like you fall asleep at work or stuff like that, and it's like. Yeah, I probably need to get some screening, make sure you have that under control, because you don't want to do that when you're behind like a vehicle and stuff like that. So it's like, it's different perceptions, but...
Yeah, a lot with narcolepsy and epilepsy, they won't even let them drive. They won't let them have
Well, that's the thing. There seem to be different connections, and I'm like, what are the underlying things? I'm like, is it like a neurological thing? Is it an immunodeficient thing? It's like, again, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just like looking at the categories of things and like how we group them together. Because like you just listed this like subject, cloaca, And you listed like 4 different like kingdoms of animals that have them. It's like, and some mammals. And I'm like, wait, I thought it would be a differentiating thing. It's like, why are we mammals if we don't have cloacas?
Actually, yeah, with that, I was gonna say, if it weren't for the mammals part, the connection would have been like cold-blooded critters. But then it says some mammals, and the mammals are all, let's see, they're like different. They're very specific kinds of moles. Moles and other underground critters.
Let's hold on. Cloaca. Oh God, I can't even. Oh God, I spell things so. Is it show me a bird butt?
You know what?
Butt.
I fucking typed into Google, do reptiles have assholes? Word for word. And that's where I that's where I got the list of cloaca stuff. Right on top.
Oh, I think that is a bird butt. Here we go. Right. Cloaca. Boom. Is that a bird bottom? Can we be showing this? Is this allowed?
Oh, that's pretty lewd. I don't know. Man.
Oh my God! I just realized what it was. I thought that was different. Oh God! I realized that was his tail. This
you zoomed right in.
I had this. I'm wearing shades.
Wait,
that's my excuse. Okay.
That's a cloaca. They do everything out of it typically at the same time.
Why does it have 2? It looks, or is that just kind of like a little thing? I'm looking at it wrong. Oh, that's a tuft of feathers.
Yeah.
This is for educational purposes. I have to cover our cloacas.
See, and there's the rare mammals that have them. They're pretty much all
all amphibians, reptiles, and birds with a few monotrees. Golden mole. Wow. Whoa.
Special moles.
Whoa. That looks kind of like a bug a little there, except it's fuzzy or prickly or something like that. Marsupials are kind of the weird.
And so that's a kind of mole too,
pouches.
but it's a marsupial mammal. I remember when marsupials weren't mammals because they were 2 different things, and then they changed that. I don't. Scientists, humans, get your shit together, man. God.
Category theory strikes again. Tenrex. Okay, it's kind of like another rodentia or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Is that like an antediid? Oh, a platypus. The monotremes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're just almost a bird. The one, but that's
Oh my God! It does kind of look like a bird.
It's got the duck face. Duck. Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at it. Oh, the duck-billed platypus.
Yeah, the platypus. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, at least that was like almost a bird, and then changed its mind or something.
Well, it's like a bird beaver. It's a beaver bird. I mean that's what it is. It's basically a beaver, except it has like
duck face and kind of like more of a duck-like feet.
Yeah, it's got the. Oh my God, that's big.
They're all in similar family, almost same family kind of deals. But it really freaking throws it off, right? Because the thing that the other ones have in common is they lay eggs, and they're cold-blooded. And I'm like, okay, well, those 2 things must, have to do with why they have cloacas instead of the assholes and stuff.
Oh, because if
but
you get
then
the
there's the mammals. Then there's the mammals, and I'm like, well, fuck. But it's only certain mammals, so that's extra. Well, fuck.
Huh.
Why do y'all have cloacas for?
Now, let's not be rectal supremacists, Fyzz. We want to be inclusive of our mammalia brethren that happen to have cloacas.
But do they give birth out of that? I have not done enough research, and Piper doesn't care. So
do they lay eggs?
If they do, then they wouldn't be mammals.
Are you sure? Don't duck-billed platypuses, don't they lay eggs? Is that how this works?
No, but then they wouldn't be mammals.
Wouldn't they?
No.
In addition, they lay eggs. You're welcome.
Why the fuck are they mammals? That completely defeats everything that makes a mammal. Okay, that is fucking weird. I
What?
saw it for a split second. But like all mammals, they still nurse their young with milk. That's one of the things that makes a mammal is they produce milk. But
So-
it was also supposed to be that they gave birth, live birth
Wait,
was supposed to be the other thing.
Wait a second, hold on. Fizz, are you saying that egg laying and breastfeeding are not mutually exclusive?
Apparently not.
So-
Piper's mind is blown too. Piper says when she was in school, everything was really easy, right? Because marsupials were defined at that time as critters that gave live birth. However, it gave live birth to premature, intentionally premature babies that would then finish developing in a pouch. And that was what made a mammal or a marsupial a marsupial. What made a mammal was live birth and producing milk. A live birth where that's it. They don't go into a pouch. And that's what made a mammal a mammal. And then basically everything else like laid eggs and didn't produce milk.
Huh.
Yeah. She says when she was little and in school. She says constantly though, she does learn like every year that different things have changed. So
because I kind of remember that. I'm like, okay, what's a mammal? It doesn't lay eggs. And I think for some reason it was, except for the platypus. Why? It's kind of weird. It was like platypus, like an asterisk and something there. And I'm like, Ryan, I apologize. We go to about 6. That's what I was trying to type abysmally there, except this is like the worst keyboard on any Mac ever. Basically, just start without us. We'll wrap up like right at 6 and everything and be right there. So if you want to do your lead in and everything, pop in right after that. I think it'll be fun. But I will be there. Maybe not exactly on time at 6. Why? Because again, if there's a 45th constant of this multiverse of stuff and things, so I'll be late. But we were just discussing the finer points of cloacas and what animals have cloacas, and it's like, well, they're mammals, and it's like they're not birds. I'm like, do they lay eggs? Fizz was like, no. In addition, they lay eggs rather than bearing live young. And it's like,
I was just like, but it can't because it's a mammal. So what it does look like is monotremes apparently are mammals with massive asterisks next to it. Is what that seems to be.
It's because there's at least 4 things right there. You got a bird, you got kind of like the thing with the quills and everything like that. Are they all
like that? Is that what makes
No,
them
whoa,
monotremes?
Fizz, look. The only surviving examples of monotremes are all indigenous to Australia and New Guinea. So that means they basically developed in a very particular part of the world, like a way.
And
They basically
that means
on islands.
they ain't real. I don't even believe these animals are real anymore. I think they're made up because Australia is not real.
Fizz.
I'm kidding.
You don't want to do that. I told people in Idaho at one point it didn't exist because my high school teacher told me that. And then I met a foreman from Idaho. He did not appreciate my comments.
Well, it does look like there's actually still debate on what to call, what to classify monotremes from the looks of it. So platypus and 4 species of echidnas. Are there species of echidnas that are not? Because it says 4. Does that instead of just all?
I just thought that the echidnas had like multiple penises or something, or penis heads. Is that what echidnas are? I'm not sure.
Oh, echidnas is Knuckles is echidna.
I don't know. Does he have multiple penises? Oh God, how old is Knuckles? I apologize. Oh, the internet's getting very weird, Fizz. But maybe if we could solve for what is mammal, we can actually solve for a lot of other things. Because this is like a lot of complexity. But like we have access to that complexity, and maybe we could figure it out. High metabolic rate. They produce milk. That's the thing. It's like laying eggs and like producing milk. I didn't think those were mutually exclusive. I thought they were mutually exclusive. Like you get the egg, why? It's got all those nutrients and stuff you need because you're growing up in an egg. And then if you're like live birthed young, it's like, okay, you basically get out there. You need your sustenance. You're gonna go for whatever seems to sustain you and feel good in your. They also lack teeth as adults. Oh God! Wait, they have teeth as children? What are these creatures?
I'm so confused. But you know, a long time ago, rabbits used to be rodents because they had the same teeth thing going on as all the other things classified as rodents. And then suddenly, we found out later that they're not rodents anymore.
Wait, they're not? Well, they're
No.
leopards or something.
Unless they rope them back in. Science can't make up its science in general, just the consensus. Can't seem to make up its mind on a lot of freaking shit. Just like how Pluto keeps getting dissed.
Okay. My very educated mother just showed us 9 planets. Or, yes, us 9 planets. That was how I learned it. That was the meme that I had. But to be fair, the mass thing, there are other massive things, I think, even more massive than Pluto. So it's like, it can be the asterisk
It's not about
planet.
the size, man. Damn.
Hey, it's how you use it. It's in a very erratic orbit. It's like our local comet that's not a comet because it's too far away to start to have all those gases and everything. And a lot of people are talking about Awoooo. It's like, if you look at a very particular photo of Awoooo, it totally looks like the Millennium Falcon. I'm just, oh God. Again, this is educational purposes, folks. This is educational. Basically, it says they split off from like a lot of mammals. 315 million years ago, it said. Where was that?
See, but eggs act as a womb. A womb. Where they develop is, so they develop externally. They're just fertilized, and that's it. And then mammals, they're fertilized. Their eggs are fertilized internally. And their womb has like a lot of the nutrient sacs, the water and shit like that. And then and you know, then the parent eats a crap ton to keep that the nutrients coming. So they don't have like a everything.
I forgot to welcome Whitechapel, didn't I? I am the worst host in the world.
You forgot to welcome just about everybody.
Yeah, Jax, Eric, Linux. I am terrible at doing this. It's one of those things. Also, at the same time, I know it helps keep people in the chat and everything. I say this, I know it. I don't just want to do it just for the sake of being like, get the numbers up, get the numbers. I'm just trying to put on a show, but at the same time, I feel like I'm also very ill-prepared, so I'm often trying to do one other thing, which is why, at least if you have a good group of people, there's enough chemistry there. That's why I'm like, Fyzz, biology.
I love gushing about biology much more than math. That's for damn sure. I understand it. Except for this. Except for the one line I just read.
What?
That they think that these critters might be an example of where evolution split off between cold-blooded and warm-blooded, cold-blooded egg-laying critters and warm-blooded not egg-laying critters, mammals. They think that the tracing DNA and stuff, it was said it on there that these are the remaining that just managed to stick it around long enough. And they're basically like the link. And that is why they are egg-laying mammals. And the only egg-laying mammals is because they're leftovers from when critters split off from being reptiles and other egg-laying critters to mammals. You're
I
muted.
realize I've been muted this whole time. No, that's fascinating because I'm thinking about this. I'm like, 350 million years ago, that's like a lot of generations and stuff for different adaptation and everything, especially if you're on an island and you're not wandering around other places and you don't have other things wandering around that's new. It's like, I'm going to kill and eat you. for strictly survival and necessary purposes.
Yeah,
But-
they were able to stick around in their environment, so they didn't have to. They weren't forced to evolve any farther than what's been working for them. So they're just the longest living, still living link between cold-blooded and warm-blooded critters, basically.
So, do wolves lay eggs?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. They have assholes
Are you sure you don't lay eggs?
and pee holes. Yes, I'm very sure.
Did you try?
No,
I apologize. I apologize. No, that was too much information. I'm just like, I should not ask this, but it's a scientific question. It's for science. That's what I said earlier, right? This is for educational purposes. So Fyzz does not lay eggs.
No. Although I have, well, technically I can't confirm or deny because I have not tried to reproduce. So I have not had any form of offspring. But I do know that I don't have a cloaca because I piss and shit from 2 different places.
I think Deej can confirm this.
Mm.
So,
I love that this entire rabbit hole, like learning all this stuff about animals all started from everyone has an asshole. The phrase everyone has an asshole.
I mean, that's a mostly accurate statement, but with that, everyone, it didn't do well.
Would you please stop singing?
Proximity warning. Planet ahead.
That's all I got. And I'm technically supposed to be on Ryan's channel right now. But Fyzz, what do you got going on? You're streaming a little later?
I'll stream it on Twitch at 9 o'clock. It is music lesson time. So,
that's
music-based games.
Oh, music is pretty neat. Music is actually magic. But that's where Fyzz is gonna be in the little chat right there. But yeah, that's all we got for right now. I don't know how to roll it into Ryan's channel. I totally opened the thing up. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to roll it in because if he starts, I think that lets us do it.
Like kind of like the raid function?
Yes, yes.
The YouTube's version? Have no idea how to do it either.
Unracked chapters, featured places, language, recording. I am a terrible person. I should learn all these different things. Where does this go? Blah, blah, blah.
I don't have access to those things on my channel because it's way too small.
It's not the size. It's creative use of game mechanics here.
Yeah.
All right, that's far too much work, but I'll be over on Ryan Roger Athlete's channel over there. He's doing reality based. I'm supposed to be there, but well, that's all we got for right now. Take care of yourselves. Peace out, everybody. And the real Fyzz is back. Catch y'all later.
Have you guys checked out the Memes of Destruction's channel? He's an interesting dude. I like him.